What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So today is Monday. Welcome back to the channel. That's right, back on the grind. However, not a bad Monday. We have Bitcoin up 3%. Some of the altcoins in the dark green. You can see XRP up over 9%, EOS 6%. So what is going on right now? Have the altcoins bottomed out, and is Bitcoin looking to basically blast straight to the moon? Well, I'm going to talk about that in just a second, but you do see over the weekend we pretty much dipped down to about this $7,764 level, and then we pretty much had a short-term reversal, and just this morning Bitcoin pumped up to $8,210, and we've been struggling currently right now with some resistance. Now, I do want to talk about that moving forward. Is this the big move? Are we looking for a massive pump today? Well, I'm going to talk about that because we do still have some key levels we need to look at, but things are definitely getting exciting, and I can't wait to go into the charts today and discuss that. So if that sounds good to you, well, you know what to do. Also, if you're not subscribed to the Crypto Zombie channel and you're watching right now, well, what are you waiting for? We do this every single day, and today is the Ledger Nano S giveaway. All you gotta do is drop a comment on literally any video throughout the course of the week, but in today's case, well, that'll be for next Monday. So everyone that commented during last week's videos, you are eligible, and if you want, that is at the end of the video. But interestingly enough, giving this a quick refresh, you will notice that the Bitcoin pump actually pumped Bitcoin's dominance 0.1% as well this morning. You are noticing some other altcoins doing quite well. Now, if we switch to the Bitcoin dominance, yeah, I mean, it's pretty mixed across the board, but I would say it's relatively evenly distributed now among Bitcoin and the altcoins. So I don't really think in particular it's necessarily one coin leading the other coin, right? But having a look at these gainers, we have Crypterium up again, Chainlink. Now, Chainlink had some pretty good news that came out. Lisk, XRP, Energy, Tron, Komodo, Ravencoin, Eternity, and Stratus as well. Now, before we get into everything, though, I do just want to point out that there is sort of something that happened with some whale movements that some people are saying it could be a fake out pump. I'm going to talk about that in just a second, but first we're going to look at this because interestingly enough, you are noticing that the altcoins relatively have put in, even if they are mild gains in the past week. So we did ultimately have a slightly green week. Not too bad. Chainlink obviously put in a very nice gain, and we are noticing Tether losing a bit of its market cap. So what does this mean? Well, we finally had some not great, but decent volume come in. If we have a look at Coin Farm yesterday, still relatively neutral, but I do think it's moving a little bit towards the buy, and you are seeing that the longs have finally pulled ahead, 51.58%. So basically, if we have a look right now, this is what I've been talking about for the past at least 4 days on the channel, is this MACD line. You can see right here, it's just been, moving upwards and upwards. We're currently sitting at around negative 19. Now, keep in mind, once we get to 0, that would flip us into the green. And you can see right there below, it does look like we're looking to have a cross. So I just want to say that's the situation. We are out of the blue, so that is short-term bullish. Now, if we zoom in right here, you can see that we are still stomped down. We basically have the purple line, which is the absolute bottom support, and we have this green line, which was acting as the initial support, but eventually flipped resistance right here. See, we were getting caught down by the wicks here, and then we had the secondary line here, and we're currently just wedged between them right now. We really need to break out of that sort of area that we're in right here. And look, you could see we actually wicked above it and we pulled down, and look at where we're sitting right now. You can't make this up, guys. We're sitting right on the purple trend that we essentially started back around September 30th. Now, I'm not going to lie, I did get a little bit of a long in this morning. As soon as we broke this resistance right here, I put in a long with a stop. Once we got above the red, I knew we were going to pop. And as soon as we got above here, we started to pull back. And that's basically when I ended it. Now, I kind of wish I used a little bit more leverage. I went a little lenient on this one. But hey, I was able to make a little bit of a scalp trade this morning. So, but that's the thing. You don't want to get greedy. Like my dad says, bulls make money, bears make money, pigs get slaughtered, right? I don't know. That's what he says, but makes sense, right? But Josh Rager was talking about the weekly weekly doji candle, which was showing a lot of indecision in the market. And you can see right here, we actually closed that candle red. So that was unfortunate. But having a look at the super trend that we spoke about yesterday, essentially this trend pretty much puts in, the bull, the bear, etc. And currently it started to say long around April 8th, which was only 7 days after Bitcoin started its major pump, which even if you had taken the advice, you probably would have done very, very well on your long. And you could see currently, we're actually back above the green. So this is short-term bullish, not to mention the fact that you could see 41 contracts, 43 contracts over here at Backed. So Backed is starting off a lot stronger this week than we've seen in the past. But here's the situation. This is what I think might have been psychologically kind of screwing with people's head, was this $5 million Tether transfer to Binance. Now, it was from an unknown wallet, but there was also another $8 million transfer. And after looking at it, some people are thinking that it came from Bitfinex and Huobi. Now, I didn't actually get the clarification on that. So like I said, you could be watching this video and saying, hey, K-Dub, no, that's not the case. Well, I didn't look into it. But the point is there was over $50 million that got sent. So people were saying, oh, is this a whale looking to buy? I mean, why would you send money to a spot exchange, right? You're not going to short, or, I guess you could technically on Binance, futures. But mainly what I'm trying to say is people were essentially thinking that that was going to be a pump. But it could have also been a trap, right? Could have been a whale trying to fake you out, and then you're just going to get that huge liquidation wick, which is still possible. But as Crypto Hamster said over here, we've been looking at the similarities between the end of November when we had that massive 50% dump and what we just had right now. And, we do like to look at fractals on this channel. They don't always play out. You have to take them with a grain of salt. But currently, as you can see right here, it does look extremely similar to what happened after the drop from 6K to 3K. So the question is, are we going to actually have a little bit of sideways consolidation before having a massive bump? But the thing is, I do want to remind you guys that this particular cycle has been moving a lot faster than any of the previous cycles, which is why I said that maybe we got ahead of ourselves. Maybe we kind of pumped a little bit too fast, right? That could have been the situation. But I was talking about the potential for this right here to put in a death cross on the 21 exponential and then also on the 200. Now, I just want to point out, from the Telegram group, thank you so much once again for pointing out that, Alessio Rastani had actually essentially put out this video saying that death crosses are not death crosses unless both of them are descending. Now, I did not know that. I'm going to be fully transparent about that, but I did decide to go back and look at this, and I just want to point out one thing. Listen, I'm not trying to say that, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Clearly, he's very, experienced in trading, but what about this right here? What about this death cross that we put here right on March 20th of 2018? They weren't both going down. You had 21 exponential and 200 going down, but technically, if you look at this, I would say that the 200 was actually sloping upwards, or you could even maybe argue sideways if you want. It definitely wasn't going down, but we continued to put in, lower highs and lower lows. So I don't know 100% how I feel about this video because, I could show you one big example right here where we technically went down. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. Just wanted to point that out. But yeah, like I said, we are still on this trend. And I mean, as long as we stay above this purple line, I still consider this to be a bull. I know a lot of people are saying with the 200 daily average, that's the absolute, bear bull level. But I mean, trend is your friend. We're still going up, guys, regardless of the short-term pullback. So the other thing, too, is you're noticing right here on the futures, you have CME futures up to $8,205. Are we actually still no, see, we're not pumping over here on Bybit. Bybit's only around, 8,163. So, yeah. I don't know. That's kind of interesting. But having a look over here, we are pumping on the CME futures. So keep an eye on that, guys. That's interesting. They're pretty bullish right now. But the thing I wanted to talk about before we go is, I love to always mention the fundamentals of Bitcoin because, yes, it's fun to talk about price all day, price going up, going down to the moon, whatever. But the reality is I do believe in this thing long term. And I don't just believe in it because, like Mark Cuban says, it's a collectible and hopefully I can sell it to, the greater fool down the line. No, I actually believe in Bitcoin, guys. And you can see right here, we had a massive, right above my head, a massive weekly spike in the OTC for Bitcoin trading in Hong Kong. Now, I've heard some people say, oh, it's just a big whale or something like that. It's possible, right? Anything is possible, but you can't deny the fact that this is happening at the exact same time during the Hong Kong riots, and they're looking to do a bank run. You can see right here, Hong Kong ATMs have run out of money. Essentially, they're trying to pull as much money as they can out of the banks, out of the ATMs right here, and essentially they're running out and they can't take any more money out of the ATMs. Now, you would never run into that situation with Bitcoin because Bitcoin's on a blockchain. You'll never run out of Bitcoin. You can always have it. You can always send it, right? So interesting. So I do wonder if this has anything to do with it, but I just want to point out before we go, it's not just Hong Kong. I mean, you're seeing the Turkish government, for example, they announced that they're going to be freezing bank accounts for individuals and companies that owe outstanding taxes. Over 2.5 million individuals who owe taxes are having their assets frozen, while over 800,000 of them are going to suffer the same fate due to outstanding debts. You can see the Reserve Bank of India recently ordered the PMC Bank to restrict its withdrawal. For now, customers are only allowed to withdraw about 1,000 rupees of the total balance that they have. The bank is also preventing people from having loans granted, making investments, borrowing funds, and no new deposits are allowed. So is this the type of system that we want to live in, where our money is essentially frozen, controlled, devalued, and one more thing down here, quantitative easing by the European Central Bank, right? So don't you guys see like how ridiculous this is and all the problems that are going on? I mean, Bitcoin literally solves each and every one of these things, including running out of money from the ATM. So I just wanted to point that out. And I know there's skeptics out there that are, saying, well, the Lightning Network is crap. It doesn't work. It's not good. Bitcoin is not scalable. Well, if you told somebody back during the AOL days when we had to dial up and every time somebody tried to call the house, I got kicked off of AOL, whether or not we were going to actually be able to stream 4K high definition videos via the internet with 4G, 5G, etc., nobody would have believed that, given the situation that we had. Well, that's kind of how Lightning looks right now. And you can see right here, they have 7 reasons why it has seen growth, because we have instant transactions, we have low fees, it has less congestion, cross-chain atomic swaps. They are focusing on security, believe it or not. You can see they're using onion routing, HTLCs, it's called hash time lock contracts, etc., active development, and they are working on the user design, because, I have seen some pretty abysmal user interfaces, so definitely got to work on that, guys, but progress is happening. But the question is, why are we seeing Bitcoin dominance pull back? Well, number one, we had an incredible run up on Bitcoin dominance. That's just number one, okay? Everything has to cool off a bit. And also, I do think that the altcoins may have actually bottomed. Now, I kind of I don't know officially, they look like they're bottoming, but every time we think they're bottoming, they just go lower. But you can see the reason that I'm saying this time is because there was so much resistance back here, and now that it finally provided support, usually when you have a previous resistance or support flipping and becoming the opposite, it's usually a good sign. So this might be a good opportunity to start loading up on the altcoins. You see Alex Saunders from Nuggets News, who, by the way, we are going to have Alex on the channel. I'm not sure when. He was trying to get on this week. I have a really busy week because I'm going to the Cleveland, Ohio thing with the Max Kaiser event. But anyway, he says that, last time he posted about XRP, it could lead the alts. So XRP is doing quite well. Is it leading the alts today? Well, it is possible. If you have a look right here, there's a decent amount going into XRP. There's more going into Ethereum and Bitcoin. But yeah, you are still seeing that the movement from Tether into some of the altcoins and Bitcoin as well. There was also this bit of news that came out for XRP. It says that Coinfield, the Canadian exchange, they say that they're one step closer to launching a mysterious project designed to push mass adoption of XRP. The exchange says it launched the XRP validator and they're preparing to roll out the project, etc. The CEO is calling the upcoming project a game changer. So I think a lot of people were speculating about that, really getting excited. Also, Chainlink had a really great week. In fact, I think if we go, hold on. Yeah, Chainlink, look, number 15 right here, had a 33% increase this week. So essentially what's been going on with them is they released Mixicles, which basically through the use of oracles, it's going to be possible to introduce privacy to public blockchains like Ethereum. They're saying enterprises that are searching for blockchain networks to operate will now have a more attractive feature for their usage. So Mixicles are expected to go live soon. And you guys do know I am a fan of Chainlink. Chainlink has been a project that I see a use for. I do think oracles are necessary, just like I think interoperability is necessary, which is why I've been a fan of Quant as well. So like I said, there are altcoins out there that you know, I think they're going to do well regardless of an alt season or not, but they really, really need to have a damn good use case. That's basically all I'm saying moving forward with that. But check this out. I just had to talk about this story. So you have crypto derivatives exchange. Which exchange? Oh, it's CoinFlex. Essentially, they are launching physically settled futures contracts that are going to be based on whether or not Facebook does or doesn't launch. So now you can actually bet on futures whether or not they launch. So how are they doing this? Well, they're going to set an initial price of the futures at 30 cents, reflecting about 30% of the likelihood that Libra will launch in December. So it's called Initial Futures Opening. It's an IFO, and this is happening on October 24th. So these guys, they just keep inventing as many things as they want. But that being said, having a look at Bitcoin, see over here on Bybit, we're not pumping as much as CME. We currently have got stomped out a little bit, but I am keeping my eyes on it. And if you guys are using leverage trading, definitely be safe. But, you know, like I said, there was a good opportunity for a scalp this morning. We've been talking about the pump. Yeah, just keep your eyes on these resistance and levels. And if you guys want, I do have a video on this. I'll drop it above. And I do have referrals below. But you guys know I obviously do not require you to ever use any of my links. Just simply stopping by is enough for me. And of course, today is Monday. And as promised, we must give away the Ledger Nano. So we had 7 videos last week. Number 4. Okay. So that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All right. So this video right here, this was Bitcoin enters the danger zone. So let's see who our winner is today for the Ledger Nano S. Let's see how many comments we got. So, 5, 6, okay, 608 unique comments. Drum roll, please, for the Ledger Nano S. You're the man. Well, thank you, my best. I appreciate that. You're the man because you just won the Ledger. And as you guys know, you don't have to comment Ledger. You're eligible. Everybody's eligible to win. Just commenting makes you eligible. But that's it for me today, guys. So thank you so much for coming back to the channel. We are going to keep our eyes on this for sure. We have gone over the charts. We do know some of the short-term resistances. Obviously, we have it. Currently, we're struggling around that 8.1 to 8.2. Next is 8.8, 9.1, 9.5. Okay, and you guys know the lower levels. No point in getting